I made you. You made me first.
Ain't that great? I mean, I was a kid when I killed your parents. I mean, I say I made you, you gotta say you made me. And how childish can you get, huh? You wouldn't hit a guy with glasses on, would you? Huh?
Batman and Bill is a new documentary that's on Hulu right now. You can go check it out if you have a Hulu subscription. It tells an untold story, or a previously not really well-known story, about Bill Finger and his relationship to the Batman character. If you ask most people who know Batman really well who created the Batman character, most of them would say Bob Kane. And honestly, there's no reason for them to think otherwise, because Bob Kane has really been the only name put into Batman in all of the film franchises, and anything that credits the character is to only Bob Kane. So who is Bill Finger? That question of who is Bill Finger ends up being one of the most fascinating and interesting questions that I've seen in a comic book documentary style film like this. I didn't know until this documentary how important Bill Finger was to the Batman character, and he was a big part of the reason we see Batman the way he is today. He's the reason Batman looks the way he looks. He's the reason Batman was a detective. He's the reason Robin was introduced. All of the villains were co-created by Bill Finger, and that's what this documentary explores, why Bill Finger wasn't credited when he was a big part of creating this character. It also talks a lot about what the inside studio problems are with people that end up not getting credited for what they deserve. Overall, the documentary is fascinating. It is so interesting to explore what was happening back in the golden age of comics and what happened with these creators and what caused Bill Finger to kind of drop from the radar of people. All of the information was put out in a fair and unbiased way, although at times it did seem like they were detracting from focusing on Bill Finger and more on the person that decided to do this documentary looking for Bill Finger. He was pretty heavily featured in the second act, and that took me away from the story of Bill Finger that I was mostly interested in. It has a great conclusion, it has a lot of surprises, it's a very informative documentary. I don't normally review documentaries, but with this, I'm one of the biggest Batman fans out there. I remember as a kid, I would dress up as Batman every Halloween. Even when The Dark Knight came out, I still asked my grandma to dress me up in a Batman costume. Well, okay, not really dress me. I even had my grandma, who would sew Batman costumes up for me back when I was a kid, do it for me again when The Dark Knight premiere came out. Batman is by far and away my favorite superhero, and so finding out that the creator of this superhero is not who I expected, and that you learn about this heartbreaking story of what happened to this guy that gave all of his creative juices into this character and never really got the credit he deserved. You gotta go see this documentary if you want to support creators, because this guy has been long overdue for getting the credit that he deserves. Bill Finger, thank you so much for bringing Batman into the forefront, for making him the way that he is, and for inspiring many people like me to want to do better in this world and to love comics. Rest in peace, man. Go and check out this documentary. It's very interesting. It's got a lot of depth to it. I'm going to give Batman and Bill an 8.5 out of 10. So guys, tell me what you thought about the documentary. What did you thought? Leave a comment down below. Best comment gets a free digital download for Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Thank you again as always for watching, and I will see you at the next review.